Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
Azeez Ojulari just might be the most underrated pass rusher in the NFL. So Kayvon Thibodeau went out last week. All of a sudden, you get a report Kayvon Thibodeau has an injury, a wrist injury, and he's out for 4 weeks. Some people are thinking 4 to 6 weeks. And Azeez Ojulari is the next man up. Now, we all pretty much thought that there wouldn't be too bad of a drop off going from Kayvon Thibodeau, who has really stepped up this season. Has not really been the game breaking pass rusher, but has really stepped up this season. And going from him to Azeez, we were thinking, Azeez at the worst can give us 80% of Kayvon. And Azeez Ojulari against the Bengals, in a loss, by the way, but in an amazing defensive performance, Azeez Ojulari got after it. He got after it, and this was his audition. This is a contract year for him, and this was his first audition out of, I don't know how many more he'll get, as a guy that can be paid as a pass rusher in this league. Now, this is early on in the game, and Azeez is just going to show you what's made him his entire career. When he's healthy and he's right, his first step, little people at the tackle position. There's not many people who can keep up with Azeez's speed off of the line of scrimmage. There's not many people who can deal with the bend that Azeez gives off the line of scrimmage. And let's just take a look right here. He's around that corner and he barely is touched. And he can do this. I mean, he can do this on a regular basis. This is what we're missing from Kayvon Thibodeau. He just doesn't have that bend. He does have some power that Azeez may not have. He's better against the run. He's better with his hands, probably. Better with pass rush moves in general. But he's not just coming around the corner like this. I mean, that's ferocious stuff. And this guy as your third pass rusher, as your situational pass rusher, is a good thing to have. I really hope the Giants can figure out a way to make this work, to bring him back for a couple more years. But just take a look one more time, like shot out of a cannon, around that corner, untouched. Joe Burrow takes off, but this isn't Azeez's lane. This is more of a, kind of got caught up in a stunt there. Dexter Lawrence kind of gets walled off right there. You got both defensive tackles all the way over there, so kind of leaves things open for Joe Burrow. But Azeez Ojulari is right around that corner. So it got to the point in the game where Azeez Ojulari was really just beating this tackle off of the snap so quickly that the tackle just started having to grab him. Now, they did not throw flags for holding, but this 100% should have been a holding call. Watch 51, left side of your screen. Azeez is going to take another outside route to the quarterback. He should have gotten this holding call, but instead the Bengals pick up a first down. But just take a look at Azeez just getting put in his headlock here after he gets the edge again. You see he's right there. He's bending the corner, and the guy's got to hold him by his neck. So this is a play that we didn't get called back. This is a play that T. Higgins gets to get a first down here. I remember this play vividly. But Azeez should have gotten a call here. Take a look, 51 on the right side this time. You're going to see a very secure, snug grab on Azeez's neck, trying to bend this corner. So Azeez had 2 sacks, which is great, especially in your first audition game. But he could have very well had 4 sacks, and he missed 2 of them, like at point blank range. This is the first one he missed, and this is a play that could have changed the game, that like could have literally flipped everything on his head, and this game could have been a blowout. If he is able to get this ball away from Joe Burrow and the Giants score here, this game could have been a blowout because, again, the Giants found a way to play dominant defense and still find a way to not pull away from the competition. So once again, you're going to have Azeez. He's going to take this outside route. And, I mean, why change anything if it's working the whole day? I would continue that outside route. So Azeez is going to take that same route to the quarterback. Barely touched. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, what can you do here? Let's take a look at this snap. I just want to see, like, does he jump earlier than everybody else? Let's stop here. Yeah, he's a little bit more forward than anybody else is. Take a look at the offensive tackle. The offensive tackle is not out of his stance yet. Now he's out of his stance, and Azeez is already basically horizontal to him. He's around the corner, and this was kind of frustrating. He could have very well sacked Joe Burrow. He could have fallen on top of him and gotten the penalty. He could have tried to grab him and turn, but he went for the football, couldn't get it out, and Joe Burrow just ended up escaping. And we get a throwaway instead of a sack at maybe the 1 yard line or a sack fumble at the 1 yard line. Take a look from this angle, 51, left side of your screen. He's going to, again, just watch how quickly he gets off of the line of scrimmage. Like, he is more forward than anybody else is on that line. And you see him going for the ball. And I just don't understand how that happened. He's got his hand in there trying to get the ball out, and he just turns around. Like, did he think that Joe Burrow fumbled? He had to have thought that Joe Burrow fumbled. Maybe the tackle like saw this happening and said like, "Oh, fumble" or something like that, because Azeez just like turned away, and Joe's just able to throw it away. It's just a shame. One more look at it. You get to see what Joe Burrow saw coming around the corner here. I just still don't know how he couldn't get him down right there. So this is the play I'm not too upset about, but again, I just showed you one play he should have had a sack. This is another play he should have had a sack. And he's basically, untouched to the quarterback. Basically untouched pretty much. And he just isn't able to get Joe Burrow down. Just pretty much gets juked out of his shoes, out of his cleats. Luckily, Dex is there to clean things up. And, he'll get credit for the pressure. But you absolutely have got to get him down right here. You got to get the quarterback down here. So he's not untouched, but he pretty much bends that corner pretty easily, causes Joe to move around a little bit, and just gets juked out of his shoes. Let's take a replay right here. He throws the offensive tackle off of him. That's crazy stuff. I didn't know Azeez was doing that. I didn't know that was part of his repertoire. I didn't know it was part of his game. But he throws this grown man out of the club. And then Joe Burrow just jukes him out of his shoes. It looked like Allen Iverson crossing somebody up. And he doesn't get the sack. Dex cleans it up for him. Take a look from this angle. Azeez is 51 on the left side of your screen. This time he actually engages with the tackle. Is able to get him out the club. Misses right there, man. You got to get him on. This is, like I said, this could have been a 4-sack day for you, Azeez. This could have been a 4-sack day for you. Instead, Dex gets his 7th sack of the season. This is probably the best angle of him missing this sack here. Man, that's embarrassing. So again, I just showed you 2 plays where I thought he should have had 2 sacks. And it was because of just how well he rushed the passer, how quickly he got out of his stance. And these are more scheme sacks. Like, these are stunts. These are sacks that he got because it was drawn up for him to get those sacks. And he's just going to loop right here, right down the A-gap. I forgot if it's A-gap or B-gap he ends up going up. But pretty much just loops right around this corner into the middle of the offensive line. And there's a wide open lane for him. Sacks the quarterback. Take a look from here. Like I said, it's ironic that the 2 sacks that he earned, he didn't get. But the sacks that he got were because of scheme. So you're going to see 51. Still had to do a great job to loop around like this and go and get the quarterback. All right, so we got Azeez right here, and we're going to get a little bit of RPO action. And he's going to do exactly what he's supposed to do. He's going to have eyes on the quarterback, eyes in the backfield, and he's going to squeeze, hug that line of scrimmage to make sure he is properly keeping contained, making sure that there's nothing going on that's, funny his way. Plays his responsibility, and because he plays it so well, quarterback ends up being right in front of him. So he's going to squeeze here, and there's the quarterback just right in front of you. And actually does a great job chasing him down because Joe Burrow thought he was stepping out of that, and he probably is looking to hit T. Higgins or somebody downfield, or maybe Jamar Chase further downfield. Let's take a look from this angle because I want you all to see how he ends up running down Joe Burrow, makes a miss there, and then gets the ankle. And another question about Azeez Ojulari was his effort, especially in the preseason. He was going against 3rd, 4th string tackles, and we were like, this guy is just invisible. He's playing late into the preseason. Is he even going to make the squad by how bad he looks, how ineffective he looks in the preseason? Well, guess what? When the regular season came, Azeez shot out of a cannon here at the top of your screen on the edge, fighting with the tackle, chasing Joe Burrow around, chasing him around. And this just shows the effort and pursuit here. So take a look here, 51 on the right side of your screen. That tackle set just makes me sick. This set that this tackle is taking, I just don't like that set. I just don't like it. It's just me. But anyway, Azeez is going to fire off the football. We'll get to see a little bit of hands here, give him a long arm, and then just kind of disengages, chases the quarterback down, isn't able to get him again. Again, Azeez could have very well had 5 sacks today, but very nice job here by Azeez to run Joe Burrow down, make him work, and make him have to throw this football pretty much away. Another thing people are concerned about when it comes to Azeez Ojulari, and that's him playing the run. And this time, he does a great job. Nice extension here in the run game. Has his arms pretty much extended here, got the tackle off his body, and is able to disengage and make a play right here in the run game, and it ends up being a fumble. I don't know who got credit for that fumble. May have been Bobby Okereke, who is always in the vicinity when somebody's fumbling. But nice job to disengage, get involved right there, and it looked like it was Azeez that forced that fumble to me. Another view right here of Azeez Ojulari. He's at the right side of your screen. You're going to see him bench press this tackle, get him off of him, and go get the running back. The Giants defense played more than well enough against an offense that was completely unstoppable the last couple of weeks. And Azeez Ojulari was really the X factor in that being able to happen. Again, he could have been involved in 5 sacks. He was involved in 3 sacks. He had 2 sacks, but he did kind of force Joe Burrow into the arms of Dexter Lawrence on the 3rd sack. So he was involved in 3, could have possibly had 5. Really made an impact on this football game. I'm excited to see what he does the rest of this year. I'm excited to see what his future is as a New York Football Giant after this season. And if you want to see about the man, Spider-Man on the other side, Brian Burns' video is coming out tomorrow to take a look at how I think he had his best game as a New York Football Giant.